Good morning. Welcome to Professor P.C. Thomas classes and Chaithanya classes. Today we are going to discuss JEE 2020 September 2nd Shift to 1 Mathematics paper. About this paper, it is not very difficult paper, but if you are not familiar with the previous year questions and concepts, it will be a little bit difficult for you because it is little outside, not completely outside, little outside from NCERT textbook. But if you are able to do all the NCERT problems, including the miscellaneous part of mathematics textbook, all the concepts you can see that it is from NCERT itself, but you need a regular practice to work out these problems in the given time. So this video will be beneficial for the students, those who are going to write in the coming entrance examination, and you will see that how important is the practicing of previous year question papers is how it is important. So welcome to the first question. If R is equal to set of all ordered pair xy such that ordered x comma y belongs to Z and x square plus 3y square less than or equal to 8 is a relation on the set of integers Z, then the domain of R inverse. Of course, 90% of the concept is actually in the NCERT, but the inverse of a relation is not given, but the inverse of the function is given. You see the same concept, you can do this one also. R inverse. The domain of R inverse is actually, you can see that it will be the range of R, and you can see that x square plus, the condition is x square plus 3y square less than or equal to 8. Therefore, the sum of these two terms cannot be 8. We can substitute different values to x and correspondingly what will be the values of y. So suppose that x equal to 0 itself. If you put x is equal to 0, what you can say is 3y square less than or equal to 8. 3y square less than or equal to 8 means y can be, of course, y can be 0, y can be plus 1, y can be minus 1. If you substitute y is equal to 2, it will be greater than 8. So only these are the possible values. So the option is a very simple concept. The answer is 3. Okay. Then the next question, the function f of x is defined by f of x equal to, it is a piecewise defined function, splitted function. It is defined from negative 1 to 4. So if you define this on a real line, we can say that the function is splitted at negative 1 to 1, then 1 to 3, then 3 to 4, and up to infinity. What you don't know what is there. So negative 1 to 1, the function is a into e raised to x plus b into e raised to negative x, and 1 to 3, the function is 3x square, cx square, and 3 to 4, the function is ax square plus 2cx. That's given. Then it is continuous. It is continuous for some a comma b comma c belongs to R, and f dash of 0 is equal to f dash of 2 is equal to e. Then the value of a is, okay. First we will apply the concept of continuity. For continuous, what you know is the left hand limit is equal to right hand limit is equal to value of the function, that we will apply here at x equal to 1. At x equal to 1, we can see that a plus a into e plus b into e raised to minus 1 is equal to c. That is equation number 1. Okay. At x equal to 3 also, we will apply the same concept of condition for continuity. So 3 into x square, that is equal to 9c. 9c, 3 into 3 square 9, 9 into c, 9c, that is equal to 3 square 9, 9a plus 2 into 3, 6c. So we can say that this 9c and 6c cancels. So 3C is equal to 9A. Therefore, C is equal to 3A. Let be equation number 2. So that value you can substitute in equation number 1. Substituting in equation number 1, we get A into E plus B into E raised to minus 1 is equal to C. That C is 3A. Now we have to eliminate B also. How will you eliminate now B? We need the value of A. Value of A in terms of E only. Value of A in terms of E only. Here is B also. We have to eliminate the value of B also. So there is one more condition. F dash of 0 plus F dash of E is F dash of 2 is equal to E. So for F dash of 0, we can see that 0 is here. So we will differentiate this one. On differentiating, what you will get? A into E raised to x plus, it is not a plus actually, it will be minus because minus E raised to x is there. So minus B into E raised to negative x, and putting x equal to 0, you will be getting F dash of 0. What is it? F dash of 0, you will substitute 0 here. So it is A minus B, that is not given actually, but we need next one also F dash of 2. 2 is here, so we will differentiate it Cx square. So what is that? Its derivative is, what is its derivative? Cx square derivative will be 2Cx. Therefore, F dash of 2, that is equal to, F dash of 2 you will write like this. So F dash of 2, we will substitute 2 here, 4C. Okay. Now, adding these two, what is given? F dash of 0 plus F dash of 2 is equal to E. So adding these two, you can see that A minus B plus 4C is equal to E. Okay. Again, you can see that C is equal to 3A. What is it? C is equal to 3A. That we will substitute here. So A minus B, 3 into 12, you will be getting 12A, right? 12A. 12A is equal to E. A plus 12A is 13A. 13A minus B is equal to E. Therefore, B is equal to what? 13A minus E. B is equal to 13A minus E. That value we will substitute where? What is the last equation you derived? This is. Okay. Equation number 1, 2, 3. We substitute here in 3, put in 3. Then we get AE plus AE inverse into, instead of B you will be getting 13A minus E, that is equal to 3A. Multiplying by E inverse, you can say that all the A terms comes left side and constant terms go outside. So solving, you will be getting A is equal to, answer will be this one. Remaining, you can very simply, you can see that A is equal to 1 divided by E square minus 3E plus 13. So we can say that option 1 will be the right answer. After this simplification, it is very simple. All the concepts is explained here. Okay. So we shall go to the next problem, question number 3. Let alpha and beta be the roots of the equation 5x square plus 6x minus 2 is equal to 0. If Sn is equal to alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n for n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc., then what will be the answers? This is a quadratic equation. You know the formula. And you know that quadratic equation and complex numbers are very important in all the JEE level and JEE advanced examinations. And for NCERT, the quadratic equation is just a half page, and complex numbers is also very elementary part of complex numbers is discussed there. You cannot do anything with that concept that you are getting from NCERT. The concept that you are getting from NCERT is not sufficient for doing these kind of problems. You have to go little more than that. That is why you need a regular practice, and the thorough knowledge about the previous year question papers. Okay, see, if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, then roots of the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 with a not equal to 0 and b not a not equal to 0. The roots are alpha and beta. And if Sn is equal to alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n, if Sn is equal to alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n, you have to study the formula a into Sn plus 2 plus b into Sn plus 1 plus c into Sn is equal to 0. That is a very common entrance shortcut. Okay, now putting n equal to 4, because all these are started with 6, therefore we will put n is equal to 4. Very simply you will be getting the answer. Putting n is equal to 4 in this question. What is it? Very simple now. A is 5. 5 into S6. Okay, 5 into S6. Immediately you cancelled these two options. Remaining is over. Very simple. What is it? Option 1. Okay. Plus 6 into S5 minus 2 into S4 is equal to 0, which is equivalent to option 1. Is it very simple now? If it is very simple if you know this formula. Okay. So we shall go to the next question. The contrapositive of the statement. What is the contrapositive of the statement P implies Q? The contrapositive of the statement P implies Q is negation Q implies negation P. So we will write note in both sides and we will use the reverse implication. So what will be the answer? Then this is if I reach the station, that is P, this is P, then I will catch the train, this is Q. What you need is negation Q implies negation P. So what is it? If I will not catch the train, if I do not, it is equivalent to, you can see that if I not catch the, okay, here is it. This is if I will catch the train, that cannot be there. If I will not catch the train, okay, then I do not reach the station. It's a negation. Then I do not reach the station. So negation P implies negation Q, option 4. Very simple again. Always in all the last 2-3 years, in all the G main questions, one very simple question is coming from this chapter, logic, reasoning. And question number 5. If alpha greater than 0 and beta greater than 0 be such that alpha cube plus beta square is equal to 4. If the maximum value of the term independent of x in the binomial expansion of alpha into x raised to 1 by 9 plus beta into x raised to negative 1 by 6 the whole raised to 10 is 10k, then k is equal to. And from the NCERT you have studied what is the term independent of x, that is the power of x is equal to 0. So we can see that the term independent of x can be easily calculated. How will you calculate? So 10 CR, we don't know what is there, we are going to find it. Okay, 10 CR alpha into x raised to 1 by 9 whole raised to 10 minus r into beta into x raised to negative 1 by 6 whole raised to r. Okay, we are not going to expand this completely at present. We are taking only the power of x. What is the power of x here? Power of x is, we need x raised to 0 something. So power of x should be is equal to 0. So 10 minus r divided by 9, here it is minus r divided by 6 is equal to 0. That is power of x is equal to 0. Okay. Then we can say that 10 minus r by 9, that is equal to this one. So we can cancel this one, 2 and 3. So 20 minus 2r is equal to 3. 20 is equal to 5r. Therefore r is equal to 4. So the term independent of x is nothing but, what will be the term independent of x now? Term independent of x is 10C4 alpha raised to 6 into beta raised to 4. Beta raised to 4. That is a term independent of x. And its maximum value is what? Its maximum value is 10k. Its maximum value is 10k. And 10C4 is constant. There is, you have nothing to do with that 10C4. We have to consider different case of alpha raised to 6 and beta raised to 4. And we have a hint. What is that hint? It is given that alpha cube plus beta raised to 4. What is it? Alpha cube plus beta raised to 4, that is equal to 4. If the sum is given and we have to do something with the product, if the sum is given and you have to do something with the product, what will you do? The famous inequality, the one of the most important inequality that you have to deal with any of the JEE main questions or JEE advanced question or any of the entrance examination. What is that? Arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to geometrical mean. Okay, that you are going to do with, which are the numbers here? The numbers are, these are the two numbers. So we can say that alpha cube plus beta raised to, it is not beta raised to 4 actually, it is beta square given. Okay, sorry. Alpha square plus beta square divided by 2, that is greater than or equal to root of alpha cube into beta square. Okay. Therefore, alpha square, this is actually 4 by 2. 4 by 2 is 2. 2 greater than or equal to root of alpha cube into beta square. So it's taking the square on both sides. 4 greater than or equal to alpha cube beta square. We need alpha, it's a power, it's again you have to square on both sides. So we can say that alpha raised to 6 and beta raised to 4, that is 16. Alpha raised to 6, beta raised to 4, that is less than or equal to 16. Okay. So we have to substitute the maximum value here. Then what will be the remaining part? Okay. 10C4 into 16, that is equal to 10k. We have to calculate the value of k. 10C4, it is actually 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 divided by 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 16, that is equal to 10k. And you can cancel all these things. Solving, you will be getting k is equal to, the answer is 336. Remaining simplification is very simple. Okay. The most important concept you have to remember in this problem is arithmetic mean greater than or equal to geometrical mean. You cannot see any of the entrance questions without this. Very difficult to see a question paper without this concept. We shall go to the next question. A line parallel to the straight line 2x minus y is equal to 0. Or we can say that y is equal to 2x. Y is equal to 2x. So what is the slope? You can see that the slope is equal to 2. Okay. Is tangent to the hyperbola. This is a line, and that line is tangent to the hyperbola x square plus 4 minus y square by 2 is equal to 1 at the point x1 y1. Then what is the value of x1 square plus 5y1 square? This is what you have to calculate. Okay. So here is a hyperbola and here is a line. That line is here and its slope is equal to 2, and you know that there is a tangent. Of course, there will be two tangents. Okay, tangents. This point is actually x1 y1, isn't it? Point is what? x1 y1. We have to calculate x1 square plus 5y1 square. What will you do? Only one condition is that. What is that? Here the tangents are parallel, and that is parallel to the line. If the lines are parallel, slopes are same. So we will calculate the slope of this tangent to the hyperbola, for which we will differentiate. On differentiating, I will get 2x. Differentiating that equation. This equation you are going to differentiate using the implicit form 2x divided by 4 minus 2y into y1 divided by 2 is equal to 1. Okay, y1 means y, don't write y1 here, so that will make confusions. You will just write y dash because x1, y1 is already there. Let us take y dash. Okay, so 2 cancel here, this also cancelled, right side is equal to 0 actually, derivative of 1 is 0. Okay, then x by 2 minus y dash is equal to 0, or this is equal to, so y dash is actually what? M is nothing but y dash. So instead of y dash you will write it 2. Why? The lines are parallel. Lines are parallel means slopes are same. Already given that the line has a slope m is equal to 2, and you have seen the tangent y dash is again 2. So what I will write is x by 2. Instead of x, now we will write x1 because the point is x1, y1. So at the point x1 we can write x1 by 2 is equal to y1 into 2. So x1 is equal to 4 times y1. x1 is equal to 4 times y1. So you are finding a relation between x1 and y1. Now that value we will substitute in the given equation, not in the line, because line is not on the curve. The point is on the curve, so we will substitute in the equation. So substituting, you will be getting x1, instead of that x1, x, we will write 4y1. 4y1 square divided by 4 minus y1 square divided by 2 is equal to 1. Solving 4 square 16, 16 and 4, that is getting cancelled, 4 is there. 4y1 square minus y1 square by 2 is equal to 1. So 8 minus 1, 7. 7y1 square divided by 2 is equal to 1. So y1 square is equal to 2 by 7. Okay. What do you have to calculate now? We have to calculate this one, x1 square plus 5y1 square. That value you are going to calculate now. Very simple. Okay. So we are going to calculate x1 square plus 5y1 square, that is equal to, instead of x1 square, what you will write? This is, okay, 4 y 16, so it will 16 y1 square plus 5 y1 square, that is again is equal to 21 y1 square, that is equal to 21 into y1 square is again given as 2 by 7. 21 into 2 by 7, that is equal to 6 will be the answer. Very simple. So it is 6. Okay. Similar type of problems are there in NCERT, but you have to do a regular practice on this kind of problems. That is only. This little bit lengthy but not difficult. But in entrance examination, lengthy questions are difficult. Okay. Question number 7. Again a tangent problem. If the tangent to the curve y is equal to x plus sin y at a point AB is parallel to the line joining 0, 3 by 2 and 1 by 2, 2, then what will be the answers? So here, given that y is equal to x plus sin y, and again you know that the point, the tangent at the same concept, isn't it? Same concept. Tangent is parallel to a line. Tangent is parallel to a line. We have to find the same concept. M is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. 2 minus 3 by 2. 2 minus 1.5. That is 0.5. That is equal to 1 by 2. Divided by 1 by 2 minus 0. That is again 1 by 2 is equal to 1. So M is equal to 1. And M is equal to 1 we will substitute here. Where? In the tangent. So how will you calculate a tangent? So we will calculate tangent as y dash. Y dash is equal to 1 plus sin y derivative is cos y. So, cos y into y dash, cos y into y dash. Okay. So, y dash into 1 minus cos y, that is equal to, and again you don't want to do this kind of difficult steps, you just write y dash is equal to what? Just write y dash is equal to 1. Okay, m is the slope, slope is equal to y dash as you are done in the earlier problem. Now what is it? This is 1, y dash is 1, 1 is equal to 1 plus y dash into cos y. 1 is again, y dash is 1, y dash is again 1. Therefore, we can see that cos y is equal to 0. Cos y equal to 0 implies y is equal to what? Y is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, etc. We can write it pi by 2 or 3 pi by 2 simply. In that case, what you can say is sin y. Sin y is equal to what? Plus or minus 1. Either it can be 1 or it can be minus 1. So, we have to calculate what is it? A and b. Here we can say that y minus x is equal to sin y. In that point, at what point where the tangent is parallel to the line joining these 2 points, the sin y is equal to plus or minus 1. So, we can say that modulus of y minus x is equal to modulus of plus or minus 1, that is equal to 1, and y minus x, the point is AB, therefore we can say that modulus of b minus a is equal to 1. Modulus of b minus a is equal to 1, option A is correct. Other options you can easily verify, but you can see that they are not satisfying. So, we shall go to the question number 8. The sum of the first 3 terms of the GP is S and their product is 27. Then all such S lies in. So, here we need 3 terms of GP. What are the 3 terms of GP? A by R and A and AR. And their sum is equal to S. So, this plus this is equal to S. Okay. That's our equation number 1. And given that the product is 27, so we can say that A cube is equal to 27. That implies A is equal to 3. Therefore, equation 1 is replaced as 3 divided by R plus 3 plus 3R, that is equal to S. Okay, this okay. Now, then all such S lies in, what is the range of S, what is the minimum value and maximum value of S, where this S lies, that is the question. S starting from where to where, all these are given as intervals. Okay. Now, we can see that R has 2 cases, R can be positive or R can be negative. Again, one of the most important formula you have to remember is, if A greater than 0, then A plus 1 by A. What is A plus 1 by A? Greater than or equal to 2. And if A less than 0 implies A plus 1 by A less than or equal to minus 2. These are another 2 very important inequality you have to remember. So, here we can see that 1 by R plus, suppose that R is greater than 0. R greater than 0 implies, I can say that 1 by R plus R, that is greater than or equal to 2. So, multiplying by 3, what I will write? 3 by R plus 3R greater than or equal to 6. Then we need a plus 3 also, adding 3 on both sides, 3 by R plus 3R plus 3 greater than or equal to 9. So, in this case, I can say that the numbers are starting from 9 and up to infinity. 9 to infinity. This is one part, and this part is for the condition what? Which condition? This part is for the condition R greater than 0. Sorry, yes, R greater than 0. Now, the same concept, exactly the same concept. What is the concept? Here, A plus 1 by A less than negative 2. Now, suppose that R less than 0. Then what I will write? R plus 1 by R less than minus 2, multiplying by 3, 3R plus 3 by R less than negative 6, adding 3 on both sides, 3R plus 3 by r plus 3, that is our s. That is our s. This is actually your s, isn't it? This s. S is greater than 9. Similarly, this is our s, that is less than negative 3. So we can say that less than or equal to, of course. S less than or equal to negative 3. So what is the next condition? Negative 3 is here, left side, negative infinity. So the cases can be negative infinity to 3, union 9 to infinity. The option you can see here, I think. Okay? No, sorry. This is option. This is not. This is right. Okay. Option 2 is correct. Negative infinity to negative 3, union 9 to infinity. I think it is clear to you. Next question. A plane passing through the points, there are 2 points are given and is parallel to the line. A line is also given. This also passes through the point. In 2-3 years back, the question was like this: what was the equation of the plane? In that case, many students are doing it by substituting the points, but or applying the verification method. Now, we cannot use the verification very easily here, so we have to find the equation of the plane and substitute. Okay, first we have to find the equation of the plane. So we have to go through the concept very clearly. Very clearly you have to go to the concept. So here is a plane. Okay, this is a plane, and this plane is parallel to a line. This plane is parallel to a line. What is the equation of the line? What is the equation of this line? Can you directly write the equation of the line? 2x equal to 3y. Therefore, x divided by 3 is equal to y divided by 2. And you can say that z minus 1, that is equal to z minus 1 divided by 0. So, what is the direction ratios? The direction ratios are 3, 2 and 0. The direction ratio of the lines are 3 to 0. And you can see that it is a point is also there. What is the point? Point is 0, 0, 1. 0, 0, 1 is a point on this line. No problem. And you can see this line, this plane. Plane has a direction ratio. What is the direction ratio of the plane? Direction ratio of the plane is not normal to the plane. Direction ratio normal to the plane is ABC. That is given. Not given. You have to find ABC. But one thing is given, the 2 points. What are the 2 points given? The 2 points given are 1, 2, 1. That is one point. Another point is, what is another point? 2, 1, 2. 2 points are there. So, equation of plane passing through this point. What is the equation of the plane passing through a point? X minus x1, a into x minus x1 plus b into y minus y1 plus c into z minus z1. And you can find the 2 direction ratios by subtracting the 2 lines. And we can apply the condition for perpendicularity. Applying the 3 conditions, you will be getting 3 homogeneous equations. And solving that 3 homogeneous equations, we will be getting the equation of the plane as the first line will be what? A into x minus x1. So x minus 1, the determinant, first row of the determinant, y minus 2, z minus 1. What is the second row now? Second row, do you remember the second row? X2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. So 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. 1 minus 2 is equal to minus 1. And 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. And what is the third row? In the case of third row, we will apply the condition for perpendicularity. That is why we are drawing this figure. By this figure, we will be getting the condition for perpendicularity very easily. What is it? 3a plus 2b plus 0 is equal to 0. So 3 to 0. 3 to 0. That is equal to 0. Solving this, we will be getting x minus 1 into 0 minus 2. 0 minus 2. Minus y minus 2 into 0 minus 3. Minus 3 itself. Plus z minus 1 into z minus 1 into 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. That is equal to 0. So opening, you will be getting minus 2x minus into minus plus 2, and here you will be getting 2 minus, you will be cancelling 2, so 3 will be there, 3y plus 3y minus 6, 3y minus 6 and plus 5z minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so negative 2x plus 3y plus 5z And what is the constant there? 11. Minus 11 plus 2. Minus 9, I think. Okay, minus 9. Equal to 0. Now, this is a plane. This is a plane. And this plane will contain infinitely many points. Among these infinitely many points, what is the value given? So, we will just check the value, substitute all these values there. And you can see that answer, this will be the right answer. All the other values will not satisfy. Substituting this one, you will be getting the correct option. Okay. You cannot find a unique value because there are infinitely many values. You have to verify only. First find the equation, then verify. Yes. Yes. Again, a problem from complex numbers. And I already told you that in complex numbers and quadratic equation, a very few concepts are discussed in our NCERT. We have to go ahead of that. Here we will apply De Moivre's theorem. De Moivre's theorem is actually cos theta plus I sin theta whole raised to n, that is equal to cos n theta plus I sin n theta. Okay. So, for the calculation purpose and to save the writing time, we substitute theta is equal to 2 pi by 9. Then, and also we will write it as z cube. So, we will substitute it as z cube, so that we can save the writing time. So, let be z cube. Then, first we will simplify for z only. What is our z now? Z is equal to 1 plus sin theta, 1 plus sin theta plus I into cos theta divided by, now what is denominator? 1 plus sin theta minus I into cos theta. And now you remember that what is the numerator? Its conjugate is written in denominator. So, we will write only the denominator for saving the writing time, and we have to assume the denominator as its conjugate. Again, one more thing is that the coefficient of phi should be sin theta instead of cos theta, but it is given as cos. So, we will apply the co-function. So, 1 plus sin theta is what? 1 plus sin theta is nothing but cos of pi by 2 minus theta, okay, plus I into sin of pi by 2 minus theta. Again, what is the denominator? You have to remember its conjugate is there, conjugate with the minus. We are not going to write that. So, this is equal to 1 plus cos theta is 2 cos square theta by 2. So, what is it? 2 into cos square of by 2. So, it is pi by 4 minus theta by 2. Remember, cos square theta by 2 plus I into sin theta is 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. 2 into sin pi by 4 minus theta by 2 into cos pi by 4 minus theta by 2. The same thing will be there in the denominator also with a conjugate, with a minus. So, what is common there? Cos square, and there is cos, that is cos pi by 4 minus theta by 2, that is common outside from both the numerator and denominator, and 2 also, they are getting cancelled. Do you remember? Here it is cos, here it is cos, that cos is taken outside, 2 also taken outside. The same thing happens here also, cos and 2 is getting cancelled, and what remains? What you have to write is, numerator is cos of, what is numerator now? Numerator is cos pi by 4 minus theta by 2 plus I sin of pi by 4 minus theta by 2 divided by the conjugate. Now, multiplying by the conjugate of denominator, you will be getting denominator is cos square theta plus sin square theta, and numerator will be its square, and again we will apply whole square is equal to n theta. Here it will be n, instead of n you will write it 2, then cos 2 theta plus I sin 2 theta. So, its conjugate is same and its square. So this into this one, it's a square. That square comes here. So the next step, this will be, this actually you are calculating only z. Z is equal to what? Cos of 2 into pi by 4 minus theta by 2 plus I into sine of 2 into pi by 4 minus theta by 2. Okay. Now there is no denominator. This quantity is multiplied. Denominator is cos square theta plus sine square theta. That becomes 1, you know it. That is equal to cos of 2 into pi by 4 pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 minus 2 to cancel theta plus I into sine pi by 2 minus theta. This is your z. Now we are going to calculate what? We are going to calculate z cube. Now z cube is equal to its cube, and that cube comes as, again we will apply the de Moivre's. So what is answer? What is the next step? Cos of multiplying by 3 here. You are going to multiply 3 here and 3 also here. So you will be getting cos of 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by 2 minus 3 theta plus I sine of 3 pi by 2 minus 3 theta. Cos 3 pi by 2 minus 3 theta, that is equal to sine. Sine. Is it sine? Negative sine, I think. Negative sine of 3 theta. 3 pi by 2 minus theta. Negative sine of 3 theta. Minus I into cos 3 theta. Okay. Taking the 3 pi by 2 minus 3 theta, co-function comes. Now what is 3 theta? What is 3 theta? 3 theta is equal to, theta is our 2 pi by 3. 3 theta is equal to 2 pi by 9 into 3. So it is 2 pi by 3. 2 pi by 3. That is equal to negative of sine 2 pi by 3. Negative of sine 2 pi by 3. Negative root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2. Minus cos 2 pi by 3 is equal to minus 1 by 2. So it is plus I by 2. If you take minus 1 by 2 outside, minus 1 by 2 into root 3 minus I. So the answer is negative 1 by 2 into root 3 minus I. We can see the answer here. Okay. So this is the 10th question. We shall go to the next question. Next. Question number 11. P of x is a polynomial of degree 3 and has local maximum value 8 at x equal to 1 and local minimum value 4 at x equal to 2. Then P of 0 is equal to P of 0. P of x is a polynomial of degree 3. Polynomial of degree 3. That has a local maximum value 8 at x equal to 1. At x equal to 1, there is a local maximum value, and at x equal to 1, at x equal to 2, and it is 1. And this height is actually 8, and this height is actually 4. Then P of 0, we have to calculate P of 0. So, from this, we can see that P dash of x equal to 0 at x is equal to 1 comma 2. P dash of x equal to 0 at x equal to 1 and 2. Therefore, 1 and 2 are the roots of the equation P dash of x. Therefore, we will write P dash of x is equal to k into x minus 1 into x minus 2. Opening the bracket and simplifying, we can calculate P of x also. What is P of x? Its integral. Integral of k into opening x square minus 3x plus 2 into dx. That is P of x is equal to k into x cube by 3 minus 3x square by 2 plus 2x plus k. already K is there, you will take C now. K is already taken. Okay. Then the conditions are P of 1 is equal to 8. Putting x equal to 1, you will be getting 8. Putting x equal to 1. X equal to 1 implies P of 1 is equal to 8. 8 is equal to K into, you will be getting 1 by 3 minus 3 by 2 plus 2 plus C. On simplifying, what you will get? 8 is equal to K into, what's the common denominator? 6. You will be getting 2 minus 9 plus 12 plus C. 8 is equal to 14 minus 9, 5. 5K divided by 6 plus C. Multiplying by 6, 48 is equal to 5K plus 6C. One equation. And next is x equal to 2. Putting x equal to 2, P of x is 4. Put x equal to 2. Putting x equal to 2, you will be getting P of x is 4. 4 is equal to K into 2 cube 8, 8 by 3 minus 3 into 4 by 2, 4 by 2 is 2 plus 2 into 2, 4 plus C. This is actually negative 6 plus 2 minus 2 is there. So 4 is equal to K into 8 by 3 minus 2 plus C. That is 4 is equal to, here 8 minus 6, 2. 2K by 3 plus C. So multiplying by 3, 12 is equal to 2K plus 3C. That is equation number 2. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. If you multiply this equation number 2 into 2, equation number 2 into 2, what will get here? 6C will be there. So subtracting 6C getting cancelled, you will be getting value of K. Substituting the value of K, you will be getting C also. On simplification, you will be getting C is equal to minus 12. Why I am saying about C is equal to minus 12 only? Because we have to calculate what is it? P of 0. What is P of 0? P of 0 is actually, here you can see that putting x equal to 0. Putting x equal to 0, P of 0 is equal to, what is here? C. P of 0 is equal to C. And that C you will be getting as 12. Minus 12. So option is 3. Minus 12 is the answer. Negative 12. C. Okay. Next question. Question number 12. Area of the region outside mod x by 2 plus mod y by 3. Mod x by 2 plus mod y by 3 is equal to 1. And inside the ellipse. And you can see that there is an ellipse like this. This is an ellipse. Okay. And 2, negative 2, and here it is 3 and negative 3. This is the area of the ellipse. Area is equal to, very simple. What is it? Pi AB, that is equal to pi into 2 into 3, that is equal to 6 pi, I think. 2 into 3 is 6 pi. And this is a mod x by 2 plus mod y by 3. Very simple, you know that this is the parallelogram, something like this. Outside the area, this is the area you need. Outside this one. So in between ellipse and this parallelogram. And area of the parallelogram, you can see that it 2 into 3 So 4 times half into 2 into 3, that is equal to 12. Total area minus 12. So required area is 6 pi minus 12. You will take 6 outside. Pi minus 2. Okay. We shall go to the next question. X equal to x belongs to n 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 17 and y is equal to ax plus b where x belongs to x and a comma b belongs to r and a greater than 0. If the mean and variance of the elements y are 17 and 216 respectively, then a plus b is equal to. A problem very beautifully linked between sets and statistics. And these kind of problems are very usual question in statistics also. And remember, this is an AP. Ax plus b is an AP. And standard deviation or mean the variance. Variance of an AP. What is variance of an AP? Variance of an AP. D square into n square minus 1 divided by 12, that is a variance. Okay. Now from here, the first one using the x is actually 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 17 natural numbers. And what is its mean? Its mean x bar. Its mean x bar is nothing but the middle term, that is equal to 9. Middle term is equal to 9. And this is replaced as what? Ax plus b. That implies what is new x bar? New x bar is a into 9 plus b. That is given as, what is given? 17. That is given as 17. That's the first. Next is, this is the variance. Variance is given as d square. D is what? Nothing but a. A into, that is a square into n square, 17 square minus 1 divided by 12, that is equal to, variance is given as 216. That is a square into 279 minus 1, 289, 289 minus 1, 288, divided by 12 is equal to 216. Therefore, a square is equal to 216 into 12 divided by 288, and you can cancel by 2. Suppose that you are cancelling by 2, there will be 6 and there will be 144. 144 is 12 square, so you will write all these are squares, and this actually 216 is 6 cube. 6 cube into 6, 6 raised to 4 divided by 12 square. So a square is equal to what? 6 raised to 4 divided by 12 square. Therefore, a is equal to 6 square divided by 12, that is equal to 36 divided by 12 is equal to 3. A is equal to 3. And that value we will substitute here. Substituting a is equal to 3, what you will get now? 27 plus b is equal to 17. Therefore, b is equal to negative 10. And we have to calculate a plus b. Then what is a plus b? A plus b is equal to negative 10 plus 3, that is equal to negative 7. A plus b is equal to negative 7, you can see the option. Next question. Let A be 2 by 2 real matrices with the entries, matrix with the entries from set 0, 1. The entries are only 0 and 1 and determinant of A not equal to 0. Consider the following statements. If A not equal to I2, then determinant of A is equal to negative 1. Is it always true? A not equal to I2. Suppose that you are writing as A as, let be 1 0 1 0. This not here. What will happen here? If you are writing this one, it's a determinant of A is equal to 0. You cannot write like this. This determinant of A is equal to 0. Determinant of A not equal to 0 means you cannot write like this. So let us write as 1 0 1 1. This is an A. And what is the determinant of A? Determinant of A is equal to 1, not equal to negative 1. So option, statement P is wrong. Statement P is wrong. In the case of Q, if determinant of A is equal to 1, in all these cases, the trace will be, this will be 1 and this also will be 1, 1 plus 1, this will be 2. So Statement 2 is true. Statement P is wrong and statement Q is correct. So what will be that? Okay, 2 will be there. Okay. Question number 15, mod x less than 1, mod y less than 1 and x not equal to y, then the sum to infinity of the following series. X plus y plus x square plus xy plus y square plus x cube plus x square y plus xy square plus y cube, etc. What you will remember the formula? X raised to n minus y raised to n is equal to x minus y into x raised to n minus 1 plus x raised to n minus 2 into y plus x raised to n minus 3 into y square plus etc. plus y raised to n minus 1. That is a formula you are going to remember. Unfortunately, here is no x minus y. All the other terms are there. So what will you do? Multiply and divide by. So this I will write it as multiply by s infinity is equal to dividing by 1 minus x minus y, because there is no x minus y, into x minus y. You are going to multiply every term with respect to x minus y, x minus y. You just remember you are multiplying each term by x minus y. What is the first term? First term is nothing but your x square minus first term is x square minus y square. What is the second term? X cube minus y cube plus x raised to 4 minus y raised to 4 plus etc. Okay, very simple now. We will split this into two GPs. One divided by x minus y into positive terms is what? Positive terms are x square plus x cube plus etc. And the negative terms you will take a negative outside. What is that? Y square plus y cube plus etc. Okay. These are two GPs with infinite GP. Why? Mod less than 1. Mod x, mod y less than 1. So we will apply the sum to infinite terms of GP. 1 divided by x minus y into here first term divided by 1 minus x minus first term divided by 1 minus y. Y square actually, sorry. And cross multiplying this equal to 1 divided by x minus y. 1 divided by x minus y into here x square into 1 minus y minus y square into 1 minus x divided by 1 minus x into 1 minus y. Okay. And this equal to x minus y into here x square is there and minus y square is there minus x square y minus minus plus y square x divided by 1 minus x into 1 minus y, and this equal to 1 divided by x minus y into x square minus y square is what? X minus y into x plus y, and you will take a minus xy outside, minus xy into here it is again x minus y divided by 1 minus x into 1 minus y. And what is cancelling? X minus y common, that is cancelled throughout. So what remains is x plus y minus xy divided by 1 minus x into 1 minus y. That is the answer. And you can see the answer. Where is it? Option minus xy. So this is the answer. Next question. Question number 16. The set S be the set of all lambda belongs to R for which the system of linear equation, here is a system of linear equations given, has no solution. Another very important repeatedly asking question for any of the entrance examination is consistency and number of solutions. Consistency and number of solutions. So here for the consistency and number of solutions, what is it? What you will apply? Delta, delta x, delta y and delta z. You will use the Kramer's rule usually. Unfortunately, Kramer's rule is not given in NCERT textbook. You have to go little ahead of NCERT textbook. I already told you that. So, delta means the coefficient determined. If delta not equal to 0, what you will say? The system is consistent with a unique solution. If delta equal to 0, delta x, not equal to 0 or delta y not equal to 0 or at least one of this not equal to 0, we will say that the system is inconsistent. And delta, delta x, delta y, delta z, everything is 0. The system may be or may not be consistent. If it is consistent, it is consistent with infinitely many solutions. That's a very important concept. You have to spend a lot of time on it and understand the concept very clearly. Without that concept also, it is very hard to find any of the question paper. Very, very difficult to find a question paper without these kind of questions. So, I would like to say that one of the most important concept. So, here we will just consider delta. The coefficient determinant delta is 2 minus 1 2, 1 minus 2 lambda and 1 lambda and 1. Okay, that is equal to 0. Solving this, you will be getting a quadratic equation, and solving that quadratic equation, you will be getting 2 values of lambda. You will be getting 2 values of lambda. And using that 2 values of lambda, delta x, delta y, delta z, everything will be 0. Easily you can see that. So we can say that it contains exactly 2 elements. I would like to say one of the most important problem, and we have to explain a lot of things on it. So you have to refer very good textbook to find the concept behind this question. Okay. Next problem. A box contains 30 cards numbered from 1 to 30 and box 2 contains 20 cards numbered from 31 to 50. A box is selected at random and a card is drawn from it. The number of cards is found to be a non-prime number. The probability that the card was drawn from box 1. Card was drawn from box 1. So, this is box 1 and this is box 2. Suppose that this is the event E1 and this is the event E2. So, in box 1 numbered from 1 to 30 and you have to segregate it as prime and non-prime. What are the prime numbers from 1 to 2, 1 to 30? So, 2 is there, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 prime numbers and 20 non-prime numbers. 10 prime numbers and 20 non-prime numbers. Now here this also we will segregate into prime and non-prime. Some 20, 30, 31 to 50. So the prime numbers are 31, 30, 37, 41, 43 and 47. How many? Only 5. So 5 and 15. 5 and 15. Okay. Now suppose that A is the event of getting. A is the event of getting a non-prime. A is the event of getting a non-prime. You have to calculate that the probability that the card drawn from box 1. You have to find the. So what is it? It is simply application of Bayes' theorem. You have to calculate probability of E1 under the condition that A has already occurred. That is equal to. What is probability of E1? Probability of E1 is equal to 1 by 2 and probability of E2 that also is equal to 1 by 2. Very simple application of Bayes' theorem says that this is equal to 1 by 2 into probability of getting a non-prime from E1. How many? 20 by. So, its probability is 20 by 30, that is equal to 3 by 2. Whole divided by 1 by 2 into 3 by 2 plus, it is 2 by 3, sorry. It cannot be always probability will be less than 1, 2 by 3. Common sense, 2 by 3. Plus, again 1 by 2 into, what is here? 15. 15 divided by 20, that is equal to 3 by 4. Okay. So, 1 by 2 cancelled throughout, you will be getting 2 by 3 divided by 2 by 3 plus 3 by 4. On simplifying, you will be getting 8 divided by 17. 8 divided by 17 is the answer. Option 3. Next is the domain. Domain of the function f of x equal to sine inverse of mod x plus 5 divided by x square plus 1. What do you know is sin inverse value lies in between negative 1, that is negative 1 less than or equal to mod x plus 5 divided by x square plus 1 less than or equal to 1. Okay. But this quantity is always positive one. Always positive one. So we will write 0 less than or equal to mod x plus 5 divided by modulus of x square. Sorry, it is not modulus, it is x square only. X square plus 1 less than or equal to 1. Okay. So, mod x plus 5 less than or equal to, as it is positive, therefore you can multiply. Positive, it is positive, therefore we will multiply. Less than or equal to what? X square plus 1. And this x square is nothing but mod x square. So, I will write mod x plus 5 less than or equal to mod x square plus 1. Okay. So, mod x square minus mod x minus 5 plus 1 minus 4 greater than or equal to 0, for which we will calculate the equality roots for the critical points. We will find the critical points. Mod x is equal to 1 plus or minus root of b square plus 4ac plus 16 divided by 2. So, mod x is equal to 1 plus root of 17 divided by 2 or 1 minus root of 17 divided by 2. And this value we will not take. Why? It is mod x, it is negative. Mod x cannot be negative. Okay. Mod x equal to this one. Therefore, x is equal to what? X is equal to plus or minus 1 plus root 17 divided by 2. Okay. So, we will mark the 2 points here as it is. We need it is greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0. So, left side of negative 1 plus root 17 divided by 2, and here it is 1 plus root 17 divided by 2, right side of this one. It is greater than or equal to 0. Substituting 0, you will be getting negatives, that will not satisfy. So, this one or this one. So, what is the answer here? It is given as negative infinity, negative a plus a to infinity. So, the value is here. What is it? 1 plus root 17. 1 plus root 17 divided by 2. Option 3 is the correct answer. Next question. Question number 19. Y is equal to f of x be a solution of the differential equation 2 plus sin x divided by y plus 1 into dy by dx equal to negative cos x y greater than 0, y of 0 is equal to 1. If y of pi is equal to a and dy by dx at x equal to pi is b, then the ordered pair AB is equal to. This is a very simple problem from the differential equation. Here easily you can solve the differential equation separating the variables. We will be getting dy divided by y plus 1 is equal to negative cos x divided by 2 plus sin x into dx. Here integral is log of y plus 1. Log of y plus 1 is equal to derivative of denominator is numerator f dash of x divided by f of x. So, negative of log of 2 plus sin x plus log c. Take all the terms left side, you will be getting y plus 1 into 2 plus sin x is equal to c. Log is getting cancelled. Or we can say that y plus 1 is equal to c divided by 2 plus sin x. And how will you calculate c? Y of 0 is equal to 1. Put x equal to 0 and y is equal to 1. So, you will be getting, or here also you can say that, put x equal to 0, y is equal to 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 into, this becomes 0, 2 is equal to c, so c is equal to 4. So, you can write c is equal to 4 now. That is the equation. Now, what is given? Y of pi is equal to a. Put x equal to pi, then y is equal to a. Therefore, a plus 1 is equal to 4 divided by 2 plus sin pi, that is equal to 0, 2, that is equal to 2. So a plus 1 is equal to 2 implies a is equal to 1. Is there any answer? A equal to 1, there are two options. So you have to go for B also. Otherwise, we will stop at here. Two options are there. For which we have to find the derivative, dy by dx is equal to. So y plus 1 derivative is dy by dx. Dy by dx is equal to negative 4 divided by 2 plus sin x the whole square into derivative of sin x is cos x. Put x equal to y. Y is equal to b. Sorry, dy by dx equal to b. B is equal to, put x equal to what? X is equal to pi. So negative 4 into cos of pi is negative 1. Divided by this becomes 0, 2 square 4. So b is equal to 4 by 4, that is equal to 1. So b is equal to 1. A equal to 1, b is equal to 1. So answer 2. 2 is right. Option 2 is right. Next question. Let HK be a point on the curve x square plus 7x plus 2 nearest to the point y equal to 3x minus 3. Then the equation of the normal to the curve at P is, we need the equation of the normal. Okay. This is a parabola. This is a parabola. And this is a straight line. And its slope is what? Slope is equal to 3. Y equal to 3x. And the point is nearest means the concept of shortest. Shortest distance means perpendicular distance. If you draw a perpendicular distance, then the perpendicular is always perpendicular to the tangent. So this is the point you are talking about. So this is the point HK. Okay. What is the concept? The concept is now very simple. Slope of the tangent at HK is 3. You are dealing with the third question using the same concept of tangency and a parallel line. Tangent and parallel line. So we can say that dy by dx. What is dy by dx there? Dy by dx is equal to 2x plus 7 and that is equal to 3. Therefore, 2x is equal to negative 4, x is equal to negative 2. So here this point is negative 2. How to calculate next point? Next point you will substitute that point there. Y is equal to what? Y is equal to negative 2 square 4 minus 14 plus 2. That implies y is equal to 8, negative 8. So what is the slope of the normal now? This is a normal. It's a slope m2. m2 is equal to negative 1 by 3. So what I can write is y plus 8 is equal to y minus of minus y plus 8 is equal to negative 1 by 3 into x plus 2 cross multiplying 3y plus 24 is equal to negative x minus 2. So x plus 3y plus 26 equal to 0. X plus 3y plus 26 equal to 0. Option 3 is correct. It is again a very simple question, direct question. Question number 21. Integral 0 to 2. It is a numerical. Options are not given. You have to find the exact numerical value. Integral 0 to 2 modulus of x minus 1 minus x. Everything is in modulus is equal to. So whenever the modulus comes, you have to remember that it is a splitted function or piecewise defined function. So here the first part it is splitted at 1 because modulus of x minus 1 has two different values, left side of 1 and right side of 1. So you will write it as integral, instead of 0 to 2, I will write it as integral 0 to 1. In 0 to 1, we can say that modulus of x minus 1 is nothing but 1 minus x. So it is modulus of 1 minus x into dx plus integral 1 to 2. In 1 to 2, modulus of x minus 1 is positive. So you will directly write it as x minus 1 itself. Minus x is already there into dx. Okay. So this equal to integral 0 to 1 modulus of 1 minus 2x dx, dx you have to assume, plus here only 1, integral 1 dx, integral 1 to 2 1 dx, that is nothing but 1 only. So this is I1 plus I2, I2 is nothing but 1. Now we will again write I1, in I1 you can see that 1 minus 2x is equal to 0, therefore x is equal to 1 by 2. You will again split at left side and right side of 0 inside the modulus. So this equal to, I am going to write I1 separately, integral 0 to 1 by 2, 1 minus mod x, 1 minus 2x. Left side of 1 by 2, we can just see that this will be 1 minus 2x itself, positive, 1 minus 2x. Okay, assume dx plus integral 1 by 2 to 1, it is greater than 1 by 2. Greater than 1 by 2 means it is greater than 1. So negative will be there. So 2x minus 1. Now we just integrate, you will be getting 1 integral is x within the limit 0 to 1 by 2 minus 2 to cancel, x square within the limit 0 to 1 by 2 plus, here again x square by 2, 2 to cancel, x square within the limit 1 by 2 to 1 minus x 1 by 2, x within the limit 1 by 2 to 1. Okay. This again nothing but 1 by 2 minus 0, 1 by 2 minus of 1 by 4 minus 0. This again 1 minus 1 by 4. This again 1 minus 1 by 2, that is equal to 1 by 2. And simplifying you will be getting this as 1 by 2, and already you got this is actually 1. So the final answer will be I1 plus I2. I1 plus I2 is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1. Now you can see that is 3 by 2, but the option you have to mark it as 1.5. Again you have to mark it as 1.50 or something. It is approximated to 2 decimal points. Answer is not given. You have to calculate the exact numerical value, then enter it as 1.50. Okay. Next question, the letters of the word mother be permuted and all the words formed with or without meaning be listed as in the dictionary. Then the position of the word mother, it is nothing but the rank. Everybody know how to calculate the rank of the word very easily, I think. M-O-T-H-E-R, mother. And give the rank of the numbers. The first letter, that is M, this will be 2. Okay, these are the rank of the letters. These are the rank of the letters. Alphabetically, if you write alphabetically, E will be the first, H will be second. Okay. Then compute how many letters are there right side of M and whose rank of the letter is less than 3. So you can say 2 and 1, that is 2. You will write 2 here. From 4 you can see that again 2 and 1, you will write 2 here. 6 you can see that all the 3 letters are there, 3 is here. In H you can see that only 1 letter, so write 1 there. And here you will write 0, no other letter, here also you will write 0. Then you will write 0 factorial here and 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial and 5 factorial. And you will find the product of these two numbers. 5 factorial, you know, that is 120, 120 into 2, that is equal to 240, you know it. Plus 4 factorial is equal to 24, 24 into 2, 48, you know it. 3 factorial 6, 6 into 3, 18, plus 18. Then 2 into 1, that is equal to 2, and here 0, these are zeros. And you will add the position of the letter mother also, that is plus 1. Okay, adding all these things, you will be getting 309. A very simple concept. If you know this concept, another method also you have seen in your textbook, some words rank, something like this. but this method will be very easy when the larger number is considered. And this method is applicable when the letters are not repeated. If the letters are repeated, then we will be using some other method similar to this one. Okay. Next is limit problem. Limit problem. Very simple. L hospital you can apply. Very simply you can apply L hospital. Applying L hospital on numerator and denominator, what you will get? Here 1 plus 2x, putting x equal to 1, you will be getting 2 plus 3x square, 3 plus etc. up to n. Okay, that is equal to 820. Very simple. N into n plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 840. N is equal to 40. Again a very simple problem. Very simple problem. Question number 24, A, B, C be 3 unit vectors such that modulus of A minus B the whole square plus modulus of A minus B the whole square is equal to 8. Then, what is this one? It is again a direct extension of the NCERT problems. You have to practice it only that much. Given, what is given? Modulus of A minus B the whole square, its expansion is what? Mod A square. Its expansion is mod A square plus mod B square minus 2 times A dot B, 2 times A dot B. Okay. Then, what is the first one? The first equation gives, what will you get from the first equation? They are unit vectors, therefore, mod A square is 1 plus 1 minus 2 times A dot B. That is equal to 8, sorry, that is not equal to 8. One more thing you have to add, plus 1 plus 1 minus 2 times A dot C, that is equal to 8. From here, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4. 4 minus 2 times A dot B plus A dot C, that is equal to 8. Therefore, negative 2 times A dot B plus A dot C, that is equal to 4. Therefore, we will write A dot B plus A dot C, that is equal to minus 2. You are getting the value of A dot C, A dot B plus A dot C. And here also the second part also, what you have to calculate is the value of the second expression. Directly you can write it as, what is it? Mod A square is 1 plus 2 times mod B the whole square, that is equal to 4 into 1, 4 plus 2 times, 2 into 2, 4 actually, 4 times A dot B plus, second is what? 1 plus 4 plus 4 into A dot C. Okay, how will you get it? 1 plus 4, 1 plus 4, 5 plus 5, 10. 10 plus 4 into A dot B plus A dot C, what is that? Minus 2. That is equal to 10 minus 8, answer is 2. So, the correct answer will be 2. So, again a very simple problem. If you know the expansion, all these things, it is a direct NCERT result also. Okay. So, we shall go to the last question. The number of integral values of A for which the line 3x plus 4y is equal to k intersect the circle x square plus y square minus 2x minus 4y plus 4 is equal to 0 at 2 distinct points. Okay. So, here is a circle and the first you will write the center and the radius of the circle. What is the center and radius of the circle? Negative g, negative f, that is equal to 1, 2, very simple. 1, 2 is the center and what is the radius? Radius r is equal to root of g square plus f square minus 4 minus c, that is equal to 1. Radius is equal to 1. Okay. Again there is a line. You have to clearly by heart the different concepts that they are considering line and a circle. Line can be a secant line, can be a tangent line, it can be an non-intersecting line. So, here is an intersecting line, intersecting at 2 points. In that case, what you will apply the condition is, what is it? Radius and perpendicular distance. What is greater? Radius and perpendicular distance. We can see that perpendicular distance d and radius, we can see that radius is greater. Okay. So D is less than radius. Perpendicular distance D is less than radius. And what is the perpendicular distance? The distance from a point to line 3x plus 4y minus k is equal to 0. The perpendicular distance formula you know that. What is that? Modulus of, substitute 1 there, 3. 3 plus 8 minus k divided by 5. Root of a square plus b square is 5. Less than radius 1. So 11 minus k, modulus of 11 minus k less than 5. So very simply you will write negative 5 less than 11 minus k less than 5. Subtracting 11 you will be getting negative 16 less than k less than 6. Okay, negative 6, negative 6. Multiplying by negative, here is second negative. Okay, multiplying by negative 1 you will be getting 6 less than k less than 16. So what are the numbers? 6 to 16, how many numbers are there? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9. So answer is 9. Okay. That digit you have to enter as the answer. Okay. So we have discussed all the 25 questions in detail. We can see the other papers in different videos. Thank you for listening. Okay.